What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from ActTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today, we're talking about the Neon Highway. Living it out on the Neon Highway. Yeah, it's a catchy song, but the film's on Netflix and it doesn't have audio description, so that might be all you hear of it. Yeah, so I'm a blind film critic. Gonna introduce myself real quickly. I got a purple hat on backwards, baseball cap, black sunglasses, and I'm wearing a Marvel Venom t-shirt. So there you go. There's a quick introduction to me before we dive into this massive movie that everybody's been waiting for, starring Beau Bridges. And Beau Bridges. And I don't know who the rest of these people are. I mean, I think there's an actual country star down there. Pam Tillis is actually in this, but other than that, there was like Ezekiel Bridges. I'm gonna assume that last name is not just like happenstance. I think I'm gonna assume that they got that gig because of Beau. Um, yeah, I don't know anybody else in this film. I looked at the cast list and I was like, I don't know. The thing about like not having facial recognition is when you're like, oh, well, that person was in this movie. And you're like, I don't know. Do I remember them from that movie? Like, would I recognize this person being in this movie? I have no idea. But yeah, it doesn't have audio description, which is kind of unfortunate because this is a movie that popped on not Netflix and went into their top 10, and they benefit from these movies. They benefit from these movies in nobody's ever heard of before, with recognizable people in them, and stories that reach their audiences, but yet they don't want to get audio descriptions. So it's like a certain population of the audience is always sort of like left out. What are we left out of? Is it worth being left out? Should we be upset? So from what I can gather, the film we start off with two brothers who are on they're not really on the rise on anything. They're trying to get on the rise in the country music scene. They're basically just going from bar to bar at this point performing, and they get some label attention, but that label only wants one of the brothers and not the other one, and this causes them to have an argument while they are driving the car, which causes them to get in a car accident, which shatters their life forever and completely changes everything for them. So we cut ahead, and the brothers don't talk anymore. Actually, neither of them died. So, if that's what you're worried about, they're fine. They just don't talk. And the film doesn't really go into it. I mean, this might be like one of those things where like the audio description would have come in and been like, one of the brothers is paraplegic and in a wheelchair. And I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. But considering nobody ever says those things out loud, like, hey man, how's your wheelchair? Like, fine. Why did you say that out loud? That's weird. That's one of those things where like audio description would come into play and let blind people know man in wheelchair, man, paraplegic man, and quadriplegic man. I don't know, something. They'd find a way to let us know the severity of which one of the brothers. But right now, it's just basically like, I don't know, they just don't talk. They're like, I really like that car. I guess. So yeah, they had this great song called "The Neon Highway." Shocker. And as road artists, they wrote about the neon highway that they drive along. And through chance, the brother that we're following in this movie, the other brother doesn't have a whole lot of screen time after the car accident. The brother that we're following in this movie, Wayne, I'm gonna go with Wayne. He's he sort of by chance ends up meeting this, country icon played by Beau Bridges. And of course, you know, the money's gone. He squandered it all. He's living sort of like, you know, just off to himself, and he's got nothing really. No, but he's hoping that maybe he can use this guy's connections to sell the song, because really his family could use the money, and so could his brother. They just want to sell the song. They don't want to be artists anymore. They've completely given up on this, but they believe in the song. They believe in the neon highway. So, you know, I have no idea what this dude's house looks like, by the way. Beau Bridges, who plays, I don't know, something with a G. Gunther. I don't know. I can't remember. It's not Gunther, but his name's got a G in it. Um, and it's a lot easier to just say Beau Bridges. So Beau Bridges, he, I've again no idea what kind of condition he lives in. He at first is like, I got nothing, kid, and she left me behind a long time ago. It's like, okay, movie done. Roll credits. Nope. But Beau decides that this might be his opportunity. He hears the song, and I love that he's like, great, another picker, because this guy plays the guitar well, and Beau, I guess, doesn't. I don't know the difference here. I don't understand. Maybe like some like deep country music buff will like drop in the comments and be like, well, what he's trying to say here is there's a lot of shame around being this kind of style, and I don't know, finger picking style versus whatever style Beau Bridges is. I don't know, but in my opinion, Beau Bridges made the song worse. Like, I liked the song the way that it was, and then Beau Bridges came in with his like, living it up on the neon highway. It was just like, oh, fuck me. But he's got a name, so he agrees to go with Beau to try to use Beau's connections, whoever he can get in touch with, to try to record the song and you know, get some money. So Beau turns out to be a little bit of a schemer, and not always honest, and definitely not the guy to trust in every single situation. Although not necessarily nefarious, just not the guy you would necessarily want to trust, especially with like your money. So they end up in various situations, and I don't know. It's all about will he ever get his career back? The glory days. Will Wayne sell this song and get money? It kind of asks all of the wrong questions, and as a film, in addition to the fact that I never know where anybody is, so like they end up like in this place. I don't know. He knows somebody so they can stay somewhere and sleep in a location. Where that location is, I have no idea. What type of location this is, got no idea. The condition of it, nah, they got nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing. They just kind of like are staying somewhere. Could be a hotel, could be a house, could be a B&B, could be like a trailer, could just be like a campground. I have no idea. You know, like I got nothing from this. There are so many scenes where it's just like, I would at least like to know where we are. You know, I just would like to know where we are. In addition to the fact that you never know what anybody looks like. I mean, that's just like number one with audio description. I have no idea what anybody looks like in this film. I mean, I know who Beau Bridges is, and I know what Beau Bridges looks like. Other than that, you know, just out the door. I got nothing here. So I don't know if anybody's tall, short, fat, black, white, long hair, short hair, mustache, beard, no facial hair. I got nothing on anybody, you know. So it's not the most enjoyable experience in the world. I will say that the original Neon Highway version of the song I enjoyed. So like if I was sitting here You know how like every once in a while, like a song from a movie that nobody's ever heard of gets nominated for Best Original Song? I would consider it. I don't think I would give it a spot, but I would consider it. Like I would shortlist this song, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, "The Neon Highway from the Neon Highway." What? What is that? But then like Beau sings it, and I'm like, ah, you made it worse, dude. It was actually better when it had the picking to it. It was sung by the younger guy, and now it just sounds like. And he has a speech about how like everything. He's like, everything has to be new, new, new. And it's like, there's nothing about that sounds new. You sound like you're falling asleep in the middle of the song. Living it up on the neon highway. It's just like, I don't know, man. But I guess he's in this film universe a legend. So I'm sure when this pops on the radio, everybody's like, oh my God, he's back. You know, I guess what we're supposed to believe. Anyway, um, yeah, in general, it's fine. I don't have too many problems with the film. The biggest one would be that sort of the big catalyst for this, we don't really go into it. It's just sort of this thing. Like, we don't. It's. What the. Because the point of this film, you know, like, I don't understand. Like, I would love to talk. Sometimes I wish I had more people just so that I could call people and be like, dude, do you want to do an interview? I would love to interview the writer of this and be like, what was in your head? Like, what was it that you wanted to convey to the audience here? Because you really don't touch the relationship between the brothers at all. It's like there's a car accident. They have like an awkward conversation later on in the movie to show that he's alive, basically. And that's about it. That's it. Like the movie's done. Like it's this huge thing for these brothers that fell out, but he never really talks about it. Like he doesn't really go into detail as to what happened. And nobody ever pushes his character to like come to terms with, you know, was it his fault? Was he not looking? Was like how did they get in the accident? Was he the one shouting? Like what does he feel? What is his grief? What is his just it's just kind of like this thing that we opened the movie up with. We're more interested in Beau Bridges. I get that because he's the only person in this film anybody knows. So, but at the same time, it's not his story. It's the story of these brothers who wrote this song, who came close to getting their chance. And then it becomes somebody else's chance to get back on the radio, just some random dude that they meet. It's almost like saying to country artists, a lot of you will never make it. So if you have the chance to find anyone who's willing to sing your song, just give it to them. The end. Done. You know? It's less for musicians and artists than it is for like songwriters. Just like, yeah, if you wrote a killer song, just accept the fact that you yourself are not an artist and try to give your song to someone who is, so they can shit on it and make a shitty version of it and send it out. It's hard. I can't grade it anyway. I mean, we know what grade I'm giving this, but I don't know what grade I would give this. I need the audio description to shape the project for me, but honestly, like the writing and like the dodging of some pretty obvious choices, some pretty big questions, has me going, what? So, but really it's the lack of audio description that has me going, so I'm gonna give it unwatchable. I'm giving The Neon Highway unwatchable. It's a light unwatchable though. I mean, it's not like there's, what do I want to say? It's not like there's like a non-verbal character in here that is really important or integral to the story. There isn't like a killer like lurking in the darkness where people are getting picked off like one by one. There are things that are more unwatchable when they don't have audio description. This, could I coherently understand the main plot of the story? Sure, but oftentimes there's a lot of nuance. Like what I'm talking about when I'm talking about picking apart the plot thing, there could be things that are in that are visual for an audience that would help tell the story, but I have no audio description to help me through those things. So, um, that's just the way it is. Anyway, so I'm going with diet unwatchable, I guess. It's the lighter version of unwatchable. Like if you really, 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 really love Beau Bridges and or country music, and you just want to take this risk on your own, I'm not going to recommend it, but you do you, you know. But it really should not be watched without audio description. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.